Okay.
Well, I'll be all set now.
There's some people that gotta
I went
get out
out
of here
last night to
quickly,
get
so.
something.
We'll call the meeting to order. This is the, Wood Park O&M Committee. And let's see what I guess we don't even have an agenda, but the purpose of the meeting is to as I understand it, to review the website and see a presentation on the website. So at this point then I would turn it over for the presentation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Thanks everybody for your time.
Okay.
Very pleased to present the working website here, is what I call a beta launch. And just wanted to bring you guys up to speed. The site is officially live for the world right now, but we're not announcing it yet. Of course, my goal is to come here today to present the website on the boards. Can everybody see this okay?
Yeah.
More clear picture, if you guys can check it out than that one over here. In an effort to try to expedite this, for the sake of your group and as well as everybody involved with the events, there does take some time. There's some various promoters that are calling me, my organization, as well as the mayor's office, wondering about different events and how we're gonna put this and when the site's going live. This is why we're having this meeting today, is to move forward with this. My hope is that after this meeting, collectively, everyone, now that this is live, everybody in this room can kind of go through and we can get a collective list of things that, each individual person's opinion or different things that need to be updated. Just to make you aware, again, this is a beta launch. This isn't fully populated yet. We're working on populating the park. We are making some adjustments, to wash out some of the areas that were gray areas and things like that within the internal pages. Some of those, which there may be some comments that you have after them might be overlapping, we might be working on them, but it's very important that I had your opinions after today, maybe in an organized document or a thread, if you will, that we could all just kind of agree on this and kind of make it public. Some of the press partners that I work with through advertising outlets and such that know that I'm working on this with you guys, they're asking me. And before we go public with anything, I want to make sure it's up to your standards, exactly what you're looking for, make sure we include everything that we need to, and then launch it. With that, I will be setting up the Facebook page and the Instagram page, the social media platforms, and I will brand them accordingly with the Festival Commons logo and everything like that, and the initial artwork for the first event that's coming up here, the next event rather. And once everybo's in agreement that it's ready and it's official, hoping by the end of this week, then we will go public with it as an official thing.
I guess I don't quite understand. You said it's live, but it's not public, is that?
It's live, but we're not, nobody
Hasn't been announced.
Nobody but this group knows that festivalcommons.com even exists.
Okay.
And what I've done here, a couple things, kind of an offensive, defensive strategy for the group, is I've secured a few domains. Festivalcommons.com will be the main domain, but LakeGeorgeEvents.com or Lake George Festival Commons, if someone's to put that into the Google search, it'll forward into Festival Commons. So Festival Commons, ironically, was available, so we kind of keep it short and sweet, easy to remember. So we went with that domain. And if you guys decide to switch it at any time, if you say, hey George, we'd like to switch this because of organizational structure or something to go with the internal structure of what thing, we could change it to LakeGeorgeEvents.org or Lake George Festival Commons if you wish. For now, just for launching purposes, to get something live. So what you're going to find here is something similar to the comps. We're still working up the kinks. Again, it's beta, so there's some bugs and there's some things we're working on. My developer's actually in there right now working on this. So some things might not work, and you'll have to forgive us on that. Navigation, nice and clean. The logo structure, we went with the green for here to scale, a little bit darker. It's kind of hard to see, but it's a little bit better representation up on the board here. Simple navigation, very clean, exactly what you saw in the comps. This will become, this content right here, as it will be on Facebook. Whatever the featured event is, coming up will be a customized graphic right here to feature that event with a link in to get more information, and then as you had suggested, a link inside of the interior page to that promoter's ticket page. We'll off link to whatever that promoter's site is. All the upcoming events will be featured here. We could do as little as 3 and as many as 6. Again, this is where our work comes in on our end to follow up with all the promoters and make sure that they have all their graphics, all their details correct and accurate, so we all, look good, and make sure that the site is of value to the viewers. And so here we got the Fireman's Convention, you got the, the Wine and Food Festival, some upcoming stuff here. And you'll see what happens when, the graphics that we get aren't high resolution, you can see a little bit of blur. That's gonna take some work for my artwork team to go in there and clean that up so it looks good. We don't want stuff we want stuff to scale, and these images look nice here. Want everything to scale nice and look clean. On the mobile version, it'll look exactly the same as this. So picture your mobile device being magnified right here. The only difference is this navigation will be tabbed. There'll be a box right around kind of where events is here. The icons will be over here and everything. And you click on the tab and your navigation will drop right down when you click on the tab on a mobile device or a tablet, okay? On every device, Android, iOS from the apps. That right now is being worked on, the scalability. And then in here we're gonna, we had some, again, we're just using this as a placeholder. We don't have much right now. The parks are work in progress, and we have some photography that we may fill in here from the last concert series during Americade, and we're just touching up some photos now to hopefully replace this and give kind of users a teaser to go into the full park page. So the right here users can click into the interior page just like as they would up here. Okay. Down here is just visitor information, pertinent information for lodging, restaurants, shopping, what have you, for our region. And again, these sponsorships are to be determined. This is a work in progress, as I understand it. We brought that up for discussion. I think everyone agreed that we wanted to go down this route. I think that'll be a separate conversation once we get this up fully launched by the end of this week. Here's where I expect some of your comments as well, like sponsorship. We have to put something here because it's built into the site. You want, the tourism logo, and what logos you want to. We could do as little as 3 and make these bigger, or we can have, add as many as you'd like and scale them as we've done here. But just for visual presentation, I wanted to show you what's possible and what this would look like. And then down here in the footer, we got a nice footer here with all the information, the navigation here, simple. This, I've set up what's called a third-party software called MailChimp.com, and basically what that is it's a database for you. So anybody who goes to Festival Commons website and they want to sign up for event updates, the goal is to create a database and then start marketing back to them for other events. So as they come in, Americade comes and goes, we send them monthly newsletters about the upcoming events to drive ticket sales and do our part. And so that'll create a database. And however you choose to work it, whether you work with my firm or any event where you guys are funding promoters, we can give them access to those lists so they can direct market to those lists, however you wish. But I wanted to put that functionality there so when we do go live with it and build a nice campaign around it and put it on Facebook and start driving some traffic, that you don't lose opportunities to gain some traction for event promotions down the road. So very straightforward here in the home, the copyright and everything, that's pretty standard stuff here. Very straightforward site, easy to navigate, very clean. The event schedule on the interior page here, hopefully our internet works. There we go. So you just have all your basic details with big dates. So in June, here's the things we have in June that are coming up, nice big dates, prominent. And in here, you'll be able to put the tickets. So we'll be able to put links for tickets and what have you, or website links and everything like that. So visit the website, there's little boxes that we can input there. Visit the website will be here, and then another box here, get tickets. If they have a third-party link on the back end, we put that link to that ticket, if it's StubHub or if it's TicketWow.com, where users could go and get those tickets. And that way, they're responsible for handing that transaction off this group. So everything's nicely laid out here. Again, we're still populating everything and formatting everything that we have and tracking down some promoters that haven't contacted us yet to get the information to make sure that they're being properly represented as best we can from launch. As things materialize, that's where we can work with the mayor's office and Michael on making sure we get everything populated through the rest of the year and going into next that's the events section, which is basically an easy calendar, scales nice on mobile. The park right now, again, this is all just a placeholder text that I'm gonna go in and, wordsmith some stuff to put in there that's really nice. Right now, the best thing we have to work with is the illustrated drawings here of what the park will look like with the fountains and things, which are nice. This, I'm gonna need your help on what to block out specifically, and clean this up, have my illustrator do that. That should take us a couple days to do, nothing major.
Yeah, well, I mean, it shows the bridge, which isn't
Yeah,
there,
this
it's
is
not
an
gonna
old
be
rendering,
there.
correct, Mr. Chairman?
Right.
Yeah, yep. If I could, who would I talk to for the drawings? Is it Elon would have them updated?
We asked Elan at the meeting
Right.
last week to, come up with a new drawing and get it to you.
Perfect, okay.
And what would the text be describing the park?
It would be, for now, probably what I'd recommend, Mr. Chairman, is to take the initial, the print piece that you guys came up with, or, was it Elon Group, or it was you, Michael? Okay. So there's an initial festival space, brochure that came up that has some text in there, needs some verbiage, so I'll basically be proposing that we use that for now.
Mhm.
And, it kind of properly just, does it justice, I think.
Right.
And as we progress and more events happen and things like that, we could do things like I said on the homepage, we could make that first thing. Going into the following year, we could take some video from these events and actually make a really nice video promo for next year to get promoters and folks involved and wanting to book their events here. Another thing we could do is, at any point in here, we could go in as a phase 2 kind of a thing and put a photo gallery in of different events and things like that in the park. We'll get photography around the park, so as the actual build out of the park happens, we'll fill this in with more, obviously pertinent content.
Now, will the mobile version have everything that's on this version? Cause I'm just looking at it on my phone and I don't see that
He's
water
probably-
feature there now.
He's probably in there working on it right now.
Okay.
And sometimes it's a little quirky with, when he's in there itemizing stuff and moving it around. But if you check, keep checking it in the next couple of days and you'll see the progression of the mobile. The mobile is actually a whole nother website that you have to develop code. So basically what we're doing is once I get all your feedback to make the best use of our time as well as yours, I get the feedback from you guys all in one shot from what this looks like. We'll go in, we'll format everything and then we'll officially go live with everything. And then at that point, all the bugs will be figured out. There's a lot of mobile compatibility things too. So your Microsoft Internet Explorer, somewhere around 6, 7, 8, 9, all of those versions depending on your desktop or your laptop. You got Safari or Chrome, your web browser. We have to make sure, we go through and do extensive testing to make sure everything works on all versions, mobile, tablet, stuff. So that's gonna take us, a few more days to do. So between the rest of the content population and the beta, or the testing to actually do the full launch, will take a few more days to do. Yes, sir.
Just back to the email address, festivalcommons.com.
Yep.
I would say, just to keep it, I'd put the word Lake George in front of it, even if you don't use it, because somebody else does.
Sure.
Because somebody else will grab Lake George Festival Commons.
Oh, we grabbed it already.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah, I secured it for you guys, I secured it for your group, I secured, LakeGeorgeEvents.org. That was available, which I thought was a really powerful domain. Festival Commons, ironically, was available, and then Lake George Festival Commons, I secured. And how it works, Mr. Merlino, if you were to go there today and type in, Lake George Festival Commons, it'll
still come up?
Yep, it'll still come right to here. Okay?
I think that's a good point, and I think it's good he's got both. I think Festival Commons is good because it's,
Tells you what it is.
Yeah, it's broad though.
but Lake George Festival Commons is also good because a lot of people out in the area.
Yeah,
I think it'd be a good idea to keep both. Keep all three of them.
Yeah. For search engine stuff, Lake George, having the word Lake George in there would probably help you too. If anybody does do a general search for Lake George events, the different back-end tags that we'll launch the site with will crawl, this site. So I can make that switch, no problem. Is there any questions so far? Any more?
Rachel's got a
Hey.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
I think this looks fabulous. I guess my question though is, and this is just me being
No,
very
go ahead,
naive,
please.
take it as
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you should.
It's right there, top right.
Lake George area.
Right, that's ours.
We don't have
The
any
tourism.
Warren County.
Yeah, it was, and again, I helped with the Civic Center floor when I raised the sponsorship for that, and did the Civic Center floor, and I worked with, Mr. Pete Gerard and Kate, and they said they preferred that anything referencing the county, they asked me, they were like, George, just make sure that's our logo, we wanna use that logo, so on the Civic Center floor, you'll see the same one. I said the same thing, I was like, don't you want like something that says, that says Warren County, but I guess in the effort for the whole marketing schema that they're coming up with internally, with that department, they
But that
wanted me
can
to do
change
that.
down the road.
Right,
Okay, I mean,
yeah.
to run something else.
Right
But-
now.
No, it's a valid point, you know, that's kind of totally outside of my realm. And again, and I'll just make a comment that, again, the sponsorships right now are just,
Yeah,
See the phone, Gene?
I didn't know that all planned.
Sure,
I said,
yeah.
Abby comes back, well, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, just generally what our role is, as I see it, is when we started out with this whole project back in, I think, 2006 or 7, that we had we called it the Castlight Village Ad Hoc Committee for all the construction, but then it became obvious as we were having events in the meantime that you needed something for operation and maintenance, so they created this Wood Park Operation and Maintenance Committee just to make the decisions, and the idea was maybe it would be more streamlined, we wouldn't have to go through the whole formal committee structure, but then as it evolved, it became clear we did need a formal committee. But I think this is the committee that makes all the recommendations to the full board about operation and maintenance of the park, and certainly the website's part of that. So.
yeah, through, Michael's organization and the group that we talked about, basically what happened was, there's, if, in the public, this has been called 30 different things, festival space, festival this, so kind of in that discussion, that's kind of how the brand thing came about, it was like, well, what are we gonna call this thing, what's it gonna look like, and when people see, obviously we have to use social media and things to promote this, and what's it gonna look like, and that's how the whole Festival Commons thing started coming about. And then just out of formality, just to come here, I always like my clients and anybody I work with to be fully informed about what we're doing, and I open at all times feedback, because I think it's important, especially when there's multiple groups like this working together. The only way it works is if it's an open communication system and everybody has a chance to kind of fill in. So again, my hope is after this meeting, everyone will visit this website, and if we can get some collective feedback on, it could be individual things, and if we can just get a thread, and maybe, I don't know, Mayor, if you want me to lead that, or if you wanna lead that, kind of organization of people's comments and stuff, but if there's some way we could do that, where everybody can go through and just say, hey, I think this needs to be on this page, and what have you. But I think for now, if I can just get the okay to kind of move forward with launching this and get it to the point where we can launch this to the public, where it could be of value to the people we're really doing it for, which is the events and things like that, would be key, so.
I would, Mr. Chairman, I would just like to add that it's very important that we get this moving forward. As the mayor astutely presented to us, or made it clear to us, last week, is that this is a dual purpose. This is, information for what's going on, taking place at Festival Commons. It's also a sales tool. And that was the whole basis of us, presenting to you folks that we as the CBB would take money that's funded to us through the county, the operation of the CBB, to design and develop this website, because we needed something to be out there. And I was just in an event called Collaborate Marketplace, where I had a chance to meet with a couple of dozen or so meeting planners, and when I started to speak to them about the Festival Commons, they said, oh good, I can go on the site and take a look at it, and I go, soon. So it's important, because people are showing an interest. They're showing an interest about a lot of things relative to Lake George, but Festival Commons seems to be right up there, and we just really need to.
I think that's what you scheduled it for.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I
Yeah,
agree with what
Fred
you
just
said.
said.
I think we should, as long as everybody's 90% in agreement, if we can make all the changes we want later on.
Mhm.
We do, this is the middle of June already, we do have to get something out there. And then as the months go by, we can change, make
Okay.
some suggestions, because if you put out for suggestions, you're gonna get 50 out.
Right.
And right now, we don't have time to do 50 changes, so I like what I see there, and.
Maybe we launch it, and then you guys, as a group, everybody looks at it individually, and at the next meeting or a month down the road or what have you, everybody brings kind of comments and then my group can go and.
Well, we can tell you about the, I mean, I think we could agree on the sponsor page.
Right.
You don't have anything on there, net yet, and if you need some, I mean, the Lake George Association, the fund, the Lake George Land Conservancy, the town, the village, and the county, and the Lake George Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Yep.
We ought to start with those.
Okay.
I mean, we don't have
Get
any
rid of
private
everything.
ones.
Sure.
That's off our, that one there is many of the ones we've got on our fishing derby incidentally. But, I think if you took the, 3 owners, town, village, and county,
Okay.
and added the Convention and Visitors Bureau, that's a good start for the sponsor page.
Well, you got the
County's on there.
Lake George Conservancy, right, I think.
What about these other ones, the private entities, the Sun Castle Holiday
These are
Inn
just
Resort?
examples.
Well, those
Yeah,
are
those guys-
examples.
they got some more.
I'm
Okay.
assuming that they're gonna have, if they want to, I'm assuming they're gonna have to pay
Yeah,
to get on there, and that's a whole other matter for our committee.
right, right.
Set some guidelines.
Fred has some, Fred Austin.
To answer my question, I believe, my question was, who's gonna sell these sponsorships to the private, and who gets the money?
Well, that's what we gotta decide.
Well, we
Yeah,
gotta
so not, those will all disappear as the private ones.
Right.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
This is just showing reference. These private ones are just there for formality, just to show what
Yeah,
this
Mr.
is.
Chairman, I just needed to clarify that our role in it was to design and develop it. Now, the actual maintenance of it and the actual managing of it needs to be determined by you folks, and who the tech might be.
Okay, yes, Don.
So it's a very nice website. Yeah, very to the point, very simple, to the point, I really
Appreciate it.
But the ownership's gonna be the county. We can't sell sponsorships. The government agency can't use its website to sell space on its website. If it's owned by the county, if it's owned by the public, you can't sell space to individual private business. Now, you can put businesses on there, but you just can't charge them to be there. I mean, that's what I was told explicitly in the, Association of Towns meeting now, because we're putting this together with the website for the town.
I've seen some examples of, in fact, I think there was a case recently, might come out of Schenectady, about selling ads on municipal buses,
Yeah.
which they determined was authorized, but, I mean, it seems to me you can definitely accept donations, and as a donation, you can recognize the donor. I mean, you might be able to do it that way, but it's something I guess we should have the county attorney look at.
Mr. Chairman, on that, I can tell you from the past, we did look at that, and I think it really it depends on what it is that you are using it for. For instance, in our tourism brochure, we definitely have advertisements that are paid for by private business. It may be turning on whether or not you're looking at a government website versus, like in tourism, we're putting out tourism promotional materials for the area, and so the question comes to my mind is whether this is closer to a tourism brochure as opposed to a government thing.
The attorney that was the authority in this matter that I talked to said, oh, yeah, towns all over New York State do it, but it's illegal.
That's a good attorney.
We'll take that under advisement.
I think we should ask our.
Well, we can have Martin take a look at that.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna be I've already had like 3 people that want on, so that's gonna be quite a lucrative,
Sure.
step for us. And in turn, this website, when we get together and meet before next year, where we have to, and set new fees and things like that, this is a great asset to the promoter. And the cost of this, the management and the upkeep should be built into the cost of renting the festival space. There aren't a lot of other promoters, that are gonna do what we're doing to help them out. So, I think all these things we're doing are very helpful.
Okay, well, I think at this point, we should take action to approve it at the committee level and refer it to the full board. But then we're gonna need something, okay, motion made by, seconded by Mr. Dickinson. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, carried. But we'll need something to present to the full board on Friday. I mean, either what you've done here or handouts or something.
Okay.
Okay?
I mean, I could have
Okay. You said you wanna be recognized?
Yeah, if I can, just
Okay,
one
yes,
quick minute.
county administrator has something.
Mr. Chairman, while the group is together, I thought this would be an appropriate group just to run this by. I understand from an email I've gotten that there will be an Adirondack Wine and Food Festival at the Festival of Commons on June 27th and June 28th. That organization has asked for permission to put up promotional signs for that event on county property. And I guess some of the ideas they had is county properties between Glens Falls and Lake George, perhaps even on the property over here. I didn't know if there was any kind of, and I'm glad Supervisor Strauss here, because I didn't know if there's any kind of town regulations, or if this is something that's a good idea, bad idea, or what. But that's what the request is that's coming through.
Yes, Dennis.
Town of Lake George has prohibition against the, Joe's lawn mowing, Jack's concrete work signs you see all over the side of the road. We have an exception for any events that we give architect money to. So, they're more than welcome to put them in Lake George. They need to come in and tell us where they're gonna put them though. We do have somebody who will go around and confiscate them.
Should they contact your office, Dennis?
They won't get very far doing that, but they can talk to my secretary.
Secretary? Okay. And how about in the town of Queensbury, or is there any? For putting up signs along the road on county properties?
Yeah,
Event sign.
Planning department, that would put into that.
If it's not a political sign, then you have to get a permit for it.
Who should they contact at the town, John?
Contact, building and codes.
Okay.
We don't have all those encumbrances like George. They can call my office and verify what they're doing.
And Dennis just says, go ahead.
And is there any problem with the county supervisors if some of these end up on county property for festival
I
type
don't
things?
think so. Okay, any other?
George, on the website is, contact.
Yep.
Who's going to be the contact for this website?
Good question. For now, it'll come from my firm directly right now, and I'll channel those. Mainly, they're gonna be promoters. Do you wish that I, get in contact with you, Mayor, or who do you suggest? One more?
I think that if there would be a way to put what they want information on.
Yep.
All the events, yes.
Okay.
But if there's inquiring specifically about a single event, the promoter, I'd send it to the promoter.
Yeah, right here, if you want me to add, what I've done to try to channel that as best as possible is if they click sponsorship, or they click become a vendor, or booking event, or another, we can add to field here if you think that's necessary. I put these in here as two.
Specific event.
Yep, and what we could do is if they pick these, once we designate, once you have, a couple other meetings and we figure out the sponsorship situation, or who's gonna handle, vendor relations or bookings. I could set these up, these clickable things, if the user clicks this and they type in this form, I can control, what email they go to depending on what they click.
Okay, yeah, we could
That
talk
make
about
sense?
that, but that's important.
Okay, and like I said, if you think there's another couple clicks that they need, other information, I try to be as, streamlined as possible. If you needed something else, I can set up that stuff.
Just one thing, Mr.
Right.
Chairman, not related to this. For 3 or 4 years, there's been a group in the village raising money for the skate park. We actually have raised $65,000, as you know, which helped cut our costs.
Right.
When I'm doing the show for Save the Lake, the gentleman brings in the stage always like at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. These young kids wanna use the stage that evening for a concert. They don't have anything else, just a concert with a stage. I'd like to be able to give them a setup fee rate. We won't have to do anything for them. All the money's gonna be turned over to the park committee for the, skate park. And I'd like to have the permission of this committee to charge them just the setup fee.
What's the setup fee again?
$500.
$500, that's what I thought,
Yeah. We don't have anything else that we need to do.
Yep.
It'll be a small show, I'm sure,
Okay.
they're not gonna get very many, they're only gonna charge like $5. I have their application, but they didn't fill in the fee, cause they know they can't afford
Okay.
$15.
Do you make that as a motion?
I would,
Any second? Seconded by Bill. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
500, we wouldn't have.
Yeah, okay. I think that's it, unless there's anything else for the committee? Not, oh, yes.
Clarification on Friday, what is the expectations again? Is it for George to show this up to the full board?
I'm sorry, I couldn't quite hear you.
The expectations on, for Friday.
Right.
Full board, what, you need visual screens or how's
That would be best, I think, 'cause we're asking the full board to vote on it, and they're obviously not all here. And if we ask for a resolution approving it, and they don't see it, they might not be too pleased with that.
I mean, our committee's recommending it to the full board.
Right.
I mean, we could make some changes, because of this meeting, right, between now and then?
Oh, yeah,
You know,
everything
some
will
minor
be
changes,
set by
but
then, yeah, for
I think it'd be
sure.
best if we could present it there, and then there'll be,
6 people
there'll be
showing up
there'll be-
watching this thing
Yeah,
all
Friday,
summer.
that's my only thing.
the media will be there too, so get some publicity there.
Show the same thing.
What time,
Right.
Mr. Chairman, what time is
10
that?
o'clock.
10 o'clock here?
Well, 10 is when the meeting starts.
large room?
Oh, it's in the big room?
Yes.
Right,
Okay.
right. Mhm.
I'll have to talk to Pete how that works in there, we might need a projector in there.
You have one.
Alright,
Yeah, we have one for that room.
you do?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yep.
And we'll have, internet access if I plug in my computer, I can, okay,
Yes.
great. Alright, maybe what would be the best time then to get that all set up, should I come up like early?
Yeah, before 10.
Morning, and just
Yep.
get that set up, or how do we get that reserved, is it like a system that has to be reserved?
We're
Yeah, they
actually
can take
going,
it, but-
on Friday, we're doing the Tar Wars presentation, so
Mhm.
the projector will already
Oh.
be all set up,
Okay,
there will be a
great.
laptop and
Yeah.
everything.
Oh, great,
Yeah.
yeah, that's,
Website you're
all I
going
need is
onto.
that computer and the website,
Yeah.
or basically internet access, and I can
Yeah.
pull that right up.
Okay, so it'll be all set up.
Okay, great.
Okay.
I'll be here.
And we have a motion then to adjourn. Adjourn.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, appreciate it.
Was George Zimmerman your father?
He was.
He was a friend of mine.
Was he?